Hey friends, it's Jamie from Happy Harper Stories, and I wanted to kind of recap a little bit of what I talked about yesterday and about how Ruth has urged her daughters-in-law to go back home. She's on the road with them. She's on the road with them to Judah, and she stops in the middle of the road and says, "Go back home." She's thinking about it. She thinks they need husbands. They're not going to find a husband with me in Bethlehem. But think about it. She's on the road with them. She's asking them to go home, but there is a piece of her, even though she's hidden doubt in her heart and doubt has come out, like we talked about yesterday as she's talking, she wants these women to go back with her to Bethlehem. She's telling them one thing, go back home, but she really wants them to stick beside her. And, there may be a measure in which she was ashamed of them as Moabite women, um, and she didn't want to take them to Bethlehem. But ultimately, I think there's a little bit of, please go with me, I don't want to go alone, but yet the best thing for you to do is stay back here and get a husband, because there's not going to be a husband for you in Bethlehem. And I think when she talks about it is more bitter for me than for you because the Lord's hand has gone out against me, she's really saying, I'm going to be alone. And especially, I'm going to be even lonelier without you girls. And that's just a hint of what she's really saying that she wants. Now, I could be reading into this because I do this sometimes where I'm saying one thing and I'm wanting another thing. But I think that women generally do that, and I don't think that I'm reading too much into it. I think there is some measure of Naomi really wanting to see God work here and really wanting to see um, one of the girls or both of the girls go with her. But we see that Orpah has gone home. She's telling Ruth, you go on too. I think, at that point, she probably would have given up hope in God, but we're going to see what Ruth does in reading 16 through 18. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. Wow. Well, I mean, very, very beautiful verses. These verses are often read at weddings. They're such a beautiful promise. And so we see here for Naomi the first glimmer of hope, the first glimmer that God may be doing something for her. In fact, I believe that we see God using Ruth to draw Naomi back to himself, back to the belief that he really is good, that he can be trusted, that she can be faithful to those promises that she's believed in the past, and she can see fruit from that. And then we see a Moabitess. We see Ruth here. She's not supposed to believe in the one true God, and she's being allegiant to him. And I suppose that we see her declaring her faith in him at this point in time. We don't know if she's become a follower in the past or if she's motivated by her love from her former husband, or if she's motivated for her love for Naomi, or if she's just motivated by what she knows God can do. And all we know is that her gods and her people mean nothing in view of the one true God, and she's willing to walk the extra mile to make sure she sticks close beside him. In fact, she's doing what God calls all of us to do. In Mark 10, verses 29 through 31, it says, I tell you the truth, Jesus replied. No one who has left home or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or fields for me in the gospel will fail to receive 100 times as much in this present age, homes, brothers, sisters, mothers, children, and fields, and with them persecutions, and in the age to come eternal life. But many who are first will be last, and the last first. Jesus promised that those who followed after him would receive numerous lessons, and we're going to see this to be true in the life of Naomi and Ruth. But I just think it's so beautiful how we see God working in Ruth and in Naomi here, and how God is using Ruth to draw Naomi back to himself and back to his truth. And I just believe that he wants her to know that most of all, I am with you always, and I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. You may have sinned, you may have turned away from me, you may have gone to Moab, you may have done these things that I didn't want you to do, but I'm still here, and I still love you. And that's not changing, and I'm not going to change. And he used the most unlikely person, which was Ruth, to do that, to show his faithful promise. And isn't that the way God is? Isn't that how good He is and the true measure of who He is? So I want you to meditate and think about that and just how awesome and good and loving He is. And then I have a song for you to listen to about just being in the presence of the Lord. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.